location on the right side, we have Lillekanin, the little rabbit from Denmark, playing in blue colors, and his opponent spawning in the bottom left location from Team My Insanity. It's Reynor playing Zerg in the red color. Now with this map we have an in-base expansion over here, as we have a little bit of pausing going on. Now I will use the time to drink. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying. Because the games so far today, I'm actually quite surprised how great they've been. Because I checked the number of players signed up for today in the morning, and it was like 13 guys. And then I checked in the evening when I came back from work, and it was like 30 or 35. Most of the names did not ring a bell at all. So I thought, like, this is going to be a bunch of diamond players playing. It's not going to be fun. Like, if there's one Masters in there, he's going to wreck the entire playing field. But no, that's not been the case. So I am very pleased with the quality of games we are getting today on the stream. So, continuing on, we have this in-base location over here that's very easy to take for this, for both players. But at the same time, Rumbais, because what I mean by that, Hellion Rumbais, of course, in the early stages of the game, are also very dangerous because the ramp is so far away from the main base. Thus, blocking this with queens can be a little bit tricky, because it will get some time for them to get over there, because there's no creep connecting this. So either you kind of expect that play and you have your queens in position at the right time before the Hellions come in, or you gotta expend energy for at least one creep tumor, which is not really desirable in the early game. So, I mean, you want your third queen to be spreading creep, not your not your first two queens. Mindfucker, thank you very much for following me on Twitch. Very much appreciated, brother. Hopefully you enjoy the cast and you will come back next time. Continuing on with the game. Let's see. Lillekanin this time opening up very, very standard. He's probably going to get that Reaper out and scout his opponent. Not sending out the SCV, however, means that he does not know which way he should send the Reaper, so he's going to circle around the entire map, which kind of leads me to believe that he will not be producing more than one. Yep, indeed he will not. And immediately throwing down the reactor, and he will go into a factory. He might try to run by with 4 Hellions, for example, and try to hit the natural base and kill the drones there. I wouldn't be surprised if he did so. And I don't know, maybe the queen block will not be in place by that time. Lillekanin is definitely going to be looking to the Reaper to provide him with the information he needs in order to make that decision. Am I going to do the run-by? Am I not going to do the run-by? Am I going to go straight into medevacs and try to drop? Or take a third base, which, by the way, would be quite ballsy. This is a very difficult to wall off space. It's very wide open. And this base is too far away by ground. So, you know, the Zerg players with their fast units, they can abuse that to hell. Excuse me. No second gas so far, so no quick Banshees. Just the Hellions for the time being, I think. And the Zerg player is not going to be taking a third base yet, neither. And this Reaper did kill 2 Zerglings, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to defend versus those upcoming Hellions, since Reynor just now lost 4 Lings. He's going to have link speed, however, and he pulled off all the workers from gas, so he's probably going to try and take a third base, or just make sure that he's got enough queens and drones. That's also a possibility, and now he's going to be spreading that creep over. As I said before, he did expend one... Yeah, I think he did miss one... No, actually he didn't. It was this queen that laid down the creep tumor, so it wasn't one of the first two. There's the third base, and he's going to try to connect that as soon as possible, buying time with speedlings in order to do that. And he's going to be supply blocked. Yep. So, one more Overlord will be needed to unsupply block himself. And we have a Reaper and 4 Hellions out on the map, but the Lings know that while the cat's away, we can run into some Marines. However, good scouting information available to Reynor right now, and will he be able to get out even? No, he will not. As Lillekanin closes the door, but unfortunately, these Hellions are kind of unsure as to what they need to be doing. They needed to be over here, harassing the Zerg player, and instead they're going back and forth on the minimap. Kind of like a one control group syndrome you can fall into sometimes. And Reynor being relentless, trying to go for the run-bys again. He did celebrate success with this against Nete, the Korean Terran player he met earlier today, so he might be trying to catch Lillekanin off guard, and oh, he barely manages to close that off. That was so close. He changed the rally point as well. But now, you know, the Hellions are too late to the party. There is a Spine Crawler, enough creep, enough queens, and Reynor will have no trouble dealing with that run-by. But this drop, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. There we go. But not too high of a loss. 18 lings, but almost no drones have been killed. Lillekanin again continuing with the Cloaked Banshees, and it doesn't look like he's going to be playing Bio this time around. Neither. I mean, this was just the opening phase of the game, and he's going to transition into mech play probably, unless he adds on... Yeah, there's the second factory, multiple tech clubs being added on, and... Well, how is Reynor going to deal with this? He doesn't have a Roach Warren just yet, no Evolution Chamber. So it's now that he has to make a decision as to what he's going to be doing. And I don't think he saw the factories, no. And he's not going to be able to scout this either. Because, you know, this is the difficult thing about maps, like Alterzim Stronghold used to be the same way. Scouting a Terran player was so, or a Protoss player as a Zerg, was so impossible on those maps because of the map layouts. And pretty much Reynor, he's forced to play blindly on this map. He can only go off of what he saw and what happened. But there is no way to be sure as to what he will be facing in 5 minutes, 10 minutes time. Nice job here by Lillekanin, however, to attack at 2 locations at once. The medevac did go down, I think, so that was a little bit sloppy, but Lillekanin is damaging his opponent slightly, trying to go after the drones, and killing quite a few of those, finally. 13 drones have been killed. But also a run-by by Reynor. Unsuccessful, however, as Lillekanin does manage to keep a watchful eye on that back door into his main base. So the Hellions have been cleaned up. Lillekanin still not letting those slings in. And Reynor, well, he kind of mismanaged the situation a little bit. If we take a look at the resources lost, he was ahead before, but now the gap is a lot smaller, just a couple hundred points separating the two players. Does take out 2 Hellions, though, so that's good. And finally, the Banshee goes down as well. And here we go. Roach production. The economy is looking, I'd say decent. Have it not been for the loss of those 15 workers, it would be 75 drones already. And the Hydralisk then gets added on. And look at this, Reynor anticipating the move of his opponent to go for the drones at the third base. And look at this Sim City! Oh! Oh! That was so good, locking those Hellions in place with the Evolution Chamber. Whoa! That was so good. Nice thinking. I love seeing stuff like this, you know, when people creatively use the game's mechanics in their favor. And now Lillekanin is not watching. Now he is not concentrated enough on defense, and a couple of SCVs will pay the price as a result. Nice job pulling those SCVs back. And now with the Blue Flame Hellions defending this, they're going to take care of these Zerglings, but still Reynor playing very well. And this game is a little bit closer than the previous one, but still, Reynor, I think, is making better decisions, has the upper hand. The roaches are in Lillekanin's face yet again. And basically what Reynor has been doing this entire time was making sure he does not suffer too many losses, while at the same time constantly pressuring Lillekanin whenever he got the chance to do so. Slowing him down at every turn, and he is starting to reap the benefits of this approach more and more. A lot of these roaches will die, of course, to the Banshees, but with the Hydras coming in on the field and a lot of Queens here spreading the creep, I mean, yeah, it's going to take quite some time to spread that creep all the way across to the Terran's territory, but I mean, Reynor is on a good way to win this series and face somebody in the finals. Let's take a look who won. EXE is going to be the finalist for whoever wins the series here. So it's either EXE versus Lillekanin or EXE versus Reynor. I would put my money on Reynor, to be quite honest, because the way this game's been going, quite spectacular. Is going to start targeting down those Thors one by one. Needs to focus fire down the Banshees. Are there any Overseers? Now they come in. The Banshee will for sure go down, and now it's just the Thors. SCVs repairing them, and really focus fire was needed, but unfortunately the firing lines of the Hydras and Roaches were split between multiple units, so Reynor was not able to bring those Thors down, and now with the tanks, those Hydras are not going to be that effective. One of the successes of the previous game that Reynor played versus Lillekanin was that he did not lose Hydras. He lost only 3 Hydras in the first engagement. Now the situation is a little bit different. He already lost 15. Those units are not very easy to replace, and he is going to sorely miss them. So the calculus is a little bit different this time around, and we can already see the results of that. No, that's not an army I don't think that Reynor can engage. He loses the 4th base as well. Remember last time around, his 4th base was untouched? Not the case this time. 1 Thor goes down, but that's about it. And, well, Reynor did make a couple of mistakes just then. It may cost him the lead. Actually, the supplies are dead even at this point. And despite Reynor having the army advantage in terms of supply, in terms of army quality, I would say that the advantage is on Reynor's side right now. Yeah, Reynor is falling apart a little bit. Not having Overseers where he needs them, losing Queens, losing drones. Yeah, finally that Banshee ran out of energy, which is the saving grace for the Queens, but otherwise probably those Queens would have gone down. Okay, Reynor says, you know what, fuck you. I'm not gonna be micromanaging every single detail of this encounter. I will let the static D do it for me. And in the meantime, I will just try to go ahead and attack. I still don't know if this Swarm Host is a misclick or not, because he did the exact same thing in the previous game. And then he did not continue using swarm hosts, so I still don't know if this is a mistake or a misclick or something. And Lillekanin is about to take his 4th base, so... Oh, Reynor not looking as good as he did in the previous game. And he should really stop losing Overseers. That's really kicking him in the ass. Every single time he's without Overseers in a fight, he's going to lose Hydras. For free, pretty much. At least he's doing good work catching Lillekanin off guard with these multi-pronged attacks, trying to take down as many SCVs as possible. Alright, so a couple of Thors going down, but the Banshee will stay alive. And, you know, this is what I talked about just now. One Banshee able to defend the entire 3rd base because of the lack of detection. It really bugs me. Not to be the one to criticize, I'm not saying I would have an Overseer there. It's just, you know, it's a mistake I see. So I point it out. I think it's only fair. And it's giving, you know... It's unnecessary. It's giving Lillekanin an unnecessary advantage, I think. And again, no Overseers. So not only cannot those Hydras engage the Banshees directly, but they also serve as an excellent scout for Lillekanin to know where exactly is the Zerg army at any point in time. So let's take a look. As the game slows down to a crawl, or slows down a little bit here, we finally have Vipers on the field, which means we have Hive finished. Still no +3 attacks or +3 upgrades on the way. The Terran mech army is on 2-2, which is pretty good. And Lillekanin is on 4 bases. I think he's got the advantage right now. Both players are maxed out, but if you take a look at the army composition, what are 26 roaches going to do versus this? Not much. And there's just not enough Hydras. It would take some very lucky abducts at this point in time, and even then, I mean, with this many Hellbats, if they touch the Hydras, they're gone. I think really they are. This is 28 Hellbats versus 24 Hydralisks we are talking about, so... The biggest threat, of course, are the Banshees in the air. When all the detection is gone, speaking of which, we only have 1 Overseer here, then the rest of the ground army can just chill and go back. And Lillekanin has been adding more and more Banshees. I'm kind of, you know, wondering about this. He's got 3 starports, but only adding 1 Banshee at a time. Maybe if he exchanged a little bit of these units, if he traded them off in order to get more Banshees. I mean, he's certainly trying to do just that. There's nothing else on the production tab but Banshees at this point. Nah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either. Oh, Lillekanin walking into a trap. But I think at this point in time his army is so strong that he will push through this. Good blinding clouds, so only the front lines have been firing, but still, the army is just too strong. And with nothing to detect those Banshees, they're cleaning up so fast. Look at this. Wow. That was just a slaughter. I think Lillekanin will be equalizing the series. Excellent mech play. This is so much more entertaining than watching Avillo, is it not? Is it not, ladies and gentlemen? I mean Avillo, you can stuff yourself. This is so smart by Lillekanin, what he's doing. Excellent play. And at this point in time, it's just A move time. Really. Just A move. The army supply is double that of the Zerg, and we have no anti-air, so just A move. It's no need to do anything else. Look at this Banshee taking on the hatchery all by itself. Oh my god! You have got to be fucking kidding me. That Spore Crawler is the most frustrated Spore Crawler in the entire world right now. It's like, let me reposition myself and I will save the hatchery. No! Luckily, one Hydra saves it. But another one has been lost in the meantime, and Lillekanin, for whatever reason, is pulling back and regrouping. Which I don't quite understand. Maybe he wants to take out these Hydras. And these are Reynor's last legs. He doesn't have the income to reproduce, and there's the GG.